crypto market is boring the crap out of people. And it's nice to find out what the community's biggest struggle is, what your biggest struggle is, why people are or are not making money with crypto. So this video is going to be super interesting, I think. I want to go over some YouTube comments that I got on the channel once a week, once every bi-week. How do you call it? 2 weeks. I like to do that to see how things are going. At the moment of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $83,400, but this video is going to be probably dropped the day after this. So whatever, if it's going to be $2 or $200,000 tomorrow, don't blame me. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Cheers to the coffee for whoever that invented the caffeine plant. Good job. Right. In all seriousness. Let's get into the market. Let's get into the community. Let's get into what actual retail is thinking, saying, doing. And the first one is from Glenn. He says, let me save everyone 11 minutes. He says, buy Bitcoin at the bottom first, get something like 7x, wait for the altcoin season and write another 7x there, compound your gains. As soon as you can try to time the bottoms and tops perfectly. No, that was not what I'm saying. First part is right? What I said in that video, how to actually 50x your money. Yeah, first being Bitcoin the biggest part of the market, right? We all know that Bitcoin is not like going down that hard as the altcoin market. It's always the first to run. And later when altcoins are looking like they are at good lows on Bitcoin, then convert it into altcoins and indeed compound it. You have kind of two bull markets that you can ride. And that way you can really make a lot. Of course, not assuming you can time the bottom, but hey, if someone bought at 15K or at 19 or at 25, I assume all these people are pretty happy with that, right? And that's the purpose, I think, of buying DCA when the time is best for you, right? And DCA out when the time is best for you. But timing tops or bottoms, bro, I'm not even gonna try. I always say that on the channel as well. We won't be able to. That's not gonna work, man. I think the only people that really time it, they got lucky, actually. Somebody said, Actut said, I'm just gonna copy and buy whatever you say. Moonar does lazy to do my own research. I hope this is not so serious. Otherwise, yeah, adult decision. But never do whatever somebody on the internet tells that they're doing, right? Like I'm, for example, doing what fits me, right? Because I have a certain risk tolerance. I have a certain emotion or not in the market. I have a certain goal, which can be completely different from somebody else. And therefore, there's not a right approach in crypto. If you're looking for someone that just simply says, hey, do this, then do that, then do that, then. Nah. You can better learn about the market. That's the only thing that is the best. Yeah, that's the only thing that I can really recommend doing, actually. Somebody said all in on Ondo. I do think that Ondo is a pretty solid project. I would never go all in on whatever, actually, in Ondo or whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Like, what if something happens to Ondo and you might be like, yeah, well, people thought the same about Luna, about whatever, right? You never know. So far, depending on where you bought it, of course, yeah, it was a pretty good buy, right? I mean, you prevent yourself from a lot of losses and you made some good gains with it. But again, I would never go all into one coin. Doesn't matter what it is, right? But Ondo, apart from that, looks pretty good, man. Can't lie. It's in this parallel channel. It's very clear. Goes to the upside, downside, downside. And as long as that trend is intact, you want to trade that, right? So you want to buy the downside. It's now pretty much at the downside. So yeah, at this moment, it doesn't look like a bad buy to me, actually. Yeah, Ondo, nice. Somebody says, I will try to speak your names, but IDO, I don't know, man. Hey, FOMO, what's your alt share from the total holdings right now? I mean, percentage of stables versus alt. So at the moment, I'm not completely sure. I think I have around 30% stables and 70% altcoins. So very risky. But again, that's my approach. Now, sorry, I'm not in the risky altcoins, like they're all risky, but you have, of course, the low cap or the Ethereums, AVAXs, these kind of things. And yeah, the higher caps is mostly what I'm in. Um, yeah, then again, I also run nodes, etc. So I also make a little passive income. So my stables ratio is getting higher and higher. And for a lot of people, it's getting higher because their altcoins are getting lower. But no, I always make sure that I have some income at least. So someone, Max, said your video is sometimes full of confusion. You said now it's the best time to buy. Tomorrow, Bitcoin is the safest place to be. We don't know, learned our lesson already. What is on hand now is alt season. Leave BTC out of your mouth already. I didn't really get the comment. I also reacted to it, but I didn't really get it. This video was more like, hey, if you want a next cycle, make as much money as possible. Don't go in the risky altcoins. Just be in Bitcoin first and then compound it into altcoins, basically. So T said, he's a really OG on the channel, by the way. Shout out. Have you given up on the alts or the alt season still to come? So I said, like, nothing has changed for me. I haven't read your response yet, but basically, what I've been talking about for the last 2 years is I expect an alt season to happen end of 2024, beginning of 2025. After March, I cannot say that it's beginning 2025 anymore, so then it will be a bit off. But yeah, I mean, if it happens in April or May, yeah, who cares, man? Right? Like, that's close enough for me. I don't have a reason to now say like, hey, alt season is not gonna happen or it's gonna happen really much later. What we should keep in mind though, and it kind of depends on what defines alt season for you, right? But what you can say, well, what's pretty clear is we had an alt season in the post-halving year, January 2021, peaking out in May, then came down. And you can say, like, hey, we had a second alt season from August to January. And kind of the same goes over here, right? We had a second alt season basically from November until April, right? So based on this cycle and a little bit on this one, it's more that the latest half of 2000 and of the post halving year is usually the best for altcoins. But then again, here it already started in March. Here it started January. We're now in March again. But yeah, I mean, no, nothing has changed for me. I really tried sometimes to find a reason, like, okay, what could like change alt season for me? Because I want it to happen. But I also should keep in mind, like, hey, what if it doesn't happen, right? And I try to look for these reasons, but I never so far am really able to find one. I will read this in my own time and respond to that, by the way. But I don't want to bore everybody with reading a long text. Yeah, this was quite funny. Somebody said, laughing my ass off, this idiot was telling you to buy S fund that's now sitting on the cycle lows, acting like he nailed this, everything and that it's Bitcoin only. Majority of the alts you showed are now at break even or a loss. Bro, look, you can hear somebody, whatever, talk about altcoins, and at a certain point, altcoins will be low again. Does that mean that that was a wrong call? I think that's a little short-sighted, to be honest, because it's totally up to you when you buy it and when you sell it, right? I mean, I bought S-Fund pretty early, made really good gains with IDOs that they launched. I took decent profits at around $3, and I'm now buying really low again. So for me, look, yeah, it's at the lows, but is that bad? Like, I'm already on a profit and I can now buy the lows. For me, that's extra good, right? But you should realize that if you buy something, hopefully around the lows, that you also take your profits when it's high. Otherwise, what's the purpose of buying in here if you don't sell it somewhere higher, right? Then you just write it up and you're just round tripping your bags. Like, that's not what you should do. And I was talking about taking profits on this channel, man. So I don't know, man. Are people gonna sue you? Yeah, I make that joke there. If you're gonna give them the best lesson that they can't find anywhere law. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I again about this video, I think that this video is maybe very simple, but it's very, very, very important. And if people apply that, yeah, you will nail the cycle really, really hard. I did it, not with all my money. Next cycle, I'm just gonna do it with all my money. I don't care. Appreciate you. Me with $100 looking for the best coin to buy. Yeah, a lot of people, they are out of funds, and it's actually not funny, but it's kind of funny because you laughing at it yourself as well. So fuck it, let me laugh as well, man. But yeah, no, a lot of people are actually out of funds right now, and therefore in this market, you really have to realize, like, hey, if you are able to get a good buying opportunity, like here, or where we are right now, in my opinion, that's only going to benefit you if you're also loading off when it's high. And that's a problem, because when we are going up, people always feel like, ooh, it cannot go higher, higher, higher. And before you know, we're down again. That's the problem that I see a lot of people have. My problem is even the opposite. I'm maybe sometimes taking profits a little too soon because I just want to make sure that I can never be in a loss with crypto. It's just a hard rule for myself. Like, I came here to make money. The opposite of losing money, right? So let me at least eliminate that, right? Losing money, not possible anymore. Cool. Then I at least can achieve my goal. I didn't came here to lose money. I can spend my money anywhere, right? And lose it that way. But I'm not going to put it somewhere that gives me nothing in return but lessons. I had enough lessons already. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I think this kind of the same comment, by the way. You've been buying Launchpad coins for months and new coins, and they're all down big. Why didn't you just buy Bitcoin? Don't tell people to do stuff you didn't even do yourself. It's like I said in the bear market already, Launchpads are my exception, man. For example, when I was not buying alts, really, I did was buying Seedify, right? Because with Seedify, like, that's with Launchpads, these are almost the only coins, almost, that you can buy and make money without needing to sell them, right? Most coins, you just buy them. And how do you make money? Well, by selling them higher. And with Seedify, for example, I stepped into the hypercycle IDO somewhere here, and there was no interest from retail, so I could have a pretty big allocation, and it did like a 12x or something, and it stayed pretty high for a long time, right? So that was already, only that idea was making me more money than I would have made if I would have just bought Bitcoin, right? And I do that because in this specific case, Seedify has a refund policy. So it's not that if the IDO doesn't work out, I'm in a loss. I can just refund my money, right? So yeah, there's that. Been listening to you since 2023, and I'm glad I listened to you and Ben. Honestly, 80% in Bitcoin, and even though alts are slightly negative right now, at least my Bitcoin average is 36K. That's a really good buying entry, man. That's beautiful, because you can get a 30x out of Bitcoin if you just hold it for, I don't know how long, but Bitcoin will hit $1 million probably one day. So, slow but steady beats the market, man. Definitely. Since others' dominance dropped below the 7-year trend line, you're not showing that anymore, but only others. Why? Well, it's not because it dropped below the trend line, because I already said, like, diagonals are not the only thing. Why I don't show it anymore? I don't know. Because that was the thing that I was focused on. But let me try if I can get it back, because I've drawn it on I'm not sure if it was a regular or a logarithmic scale. Let me take a real quick look, and if it takes too long and I'm boring the shit out of people. Yeah, it was something like this, I think. How did I draw that? It wasn't this. Not completely sure how I've drawn it. Anyway, if this was it, right? It's not completely accurate. But then it dropped below. And that's fine. That's completely fine. Like, there are more things than just one diagonal to determine if a chart is bullish or bearish, right? For example, a beautiful double bottom right here, which is already like a very nice pattern right here. Is it bullish that it broke the diagonal? Of course not. Definitely not, right? But then there's one chart off the table. Yeah, whatever, man. Like, if that's it, then that's it, man. What was the score? It's in the video, man. So do check it out. All right. I guess we can ignore the global trade war because QT might be lifted. Who's borrowing to buy gimmick altcoins anyway? I'm not going to pump. It's not going to pump the market. And oh yeah, okay, this type of comment. And everything is still overpriced because of November election speculate bubble. People are buying now for what? A 10% bounce, then another crash. Yeah, I love the positive vibes, man. So we can take only a look like, hey, what's the narrative that it's going down? The global trade war, right? That there is the this, the that. Okay, if it is that fucking terrible bad that nothing will recover and the whole cycle is different, then tell me, why is the Bitcoin chart looking bullish as fuck? Why is the S&P, although it had a drop, still looking fantastic, man? I look, in the moments where things are going down, people say, oh, you should not buy, right? You should say that you should not buy when everything is really bubbly, right? Not when we already like are. It's the other way around, man. It's the other way around. Look, and me, you could be ending up right, but again, then we go to the story of betting on the fast horse or the handicapped horse, and you know, is it smart to bet on the handicapped horse? No. Could it win? Yeah, it could, right? Like, but that's not the best bet to take, in my opinion. Mm. Don't you see that if QT ends too late, it won't trigger an alt season? It's an interesting question. Once the cycle ends, there won't be room for altcoins to grow. And why would the Fed end QT soon if there is increased inflation? Last question, no idea. But we also know that Trump is, with these kind of things, always very, very, very drastic. And who knows? Maybe next month he says, okay, changes again, right? About QT, alt season, yada yada yada. Look, I think I understand your question, but to answer it very straightforward, has nothing to do with each other, right? Altcoins are going up on their Bitcoin pair. That's an alt season, right? This chart going up is alt season. Even if Bitcoin in the meantime goes to shit, it doesn't matter. Let's say theoretically, not really sure if this is going to happen, but let's say theoretically, Bitcoin goes to $5,000 next month, but this chart skyrockets, right? I will be making content where I am saying, guys, it's alt season. And everybody sees that chart of Bitcoin and altcoins, therefore probably also going down and be like, Fomo, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? But alt season is where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with dollars, nothing, right? That's alt season. Now, I understand your question, I think, like, hey, what if the market is already going to go down before altcoins start to outperform? Then it depends, and that's hard to say already, like how much is the market going down versus how much are altcoins outperforming, right? Because what you can see right here is that if you overlay the altcoin market and if you overlay Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is purple, right? Bitcoin was here, for example, let me check. Here already going down, right? In November was going down really, really hard, basically straight down, right? But because there was an alt season, you see that this, what is it, pink thing had that second, top right here where they shot up really hard while Bitcoin was still going down. So it's then more the question like, hey, yeah, look, if Bitcoin goes to $50,000 and this chart goes make new highs, then it doesn't matter. Altcoins will do really well on the dollar pair. However, if this chart, for example, right, goes here, but Bitcoin goes to 20K, then altcoins still get a hit on the dollar pair. However, assuming that what the Fed hinted about QT stopping by, mid this year, June, let's say, right? And that alt season will start by then I think we will be fine, right? Because it does not look in any way to me so far like a left translated cycle in any way, right? So in that case, I feel like, man, as long as Bitcoin just does not go really fucking low, then we will be fine, right? And I even expect Bitcoin to have a really good run this year. So hypothetically, anything can happen, but I don't worry that much. Yeah, so I spoke about my goal. I need a 5x in this market, the give or take, right, for my goal. And I feel like, okay, I had last year, I had higher goals. But now I feel like, man, I was calculating, what do we need? How much time? And what do I, like, just for myself, what do I need? And I was like, okay, if I make a 5x, I'm good. A 5x won't even recover my old portfolio value. I need a 10x. And I think that a lot of people are in that camp, right? You either, you just bought pretty high probably and or did not take profits. And that sucks. But again, also, it is lesser money. And it sounds stupid. You can buy anything with that right now. But I made my mistakes mostly in 2017. And if I would not have made them back then I would have done it now. So I'm happy I did, because I can listen to any YouTuber out there and it's nice. It's a part of my research, but it's not experience, right? It's not that will stick into my head like my experience does. So, yeah, maybe a little help right here that makes you feel better. You are not the only one, sir. What is a good percent allocation of cash for this point in the market? Somebody said between very specific this, and I meant in broader terms. I don't know what you mean with broad. For me, that it depends on what makes you feel comfortable. Like, there's not a straight answer to that, right? If you look at your portfolio crypto, what I'm doing, I look at my portfolio and I'll be like, if the market now does 5x, do I have enough in coins to reach my goal? So you first have to set your goal. If the answer is yes, then you have enough coins. That's fine. So you can focus on your cash, right? Then you can also calculate like, hey, if the market now goes down really hard, and I buy it up with all my cash, what difference would that make to my portfolio once it recovers? And if that is like by far not enough, then you are not in enough cash. So I can put a number on it, but it's different per person. For me, it's around 30%, something like that. Bought more Pepe and Turbo. Congrats, I think. I don't know. I look, on one hand, I would say in this part of the market, being a meme coins is really degen. But yeah, you are not in the most risky meme coins compared to other meme coins, at least, right? I mean, there are meme coins down 95%. It's terrible. Pepe so far is down 75%, right? It's not fantastic, but it could be a lot worse. And when it comes to Turbo, I don't know how Turbo is looking. The diagonal is broken. It made a lower low. It broke this huge support. Turbo is looking terrible. Sorry for that. And that's currently down, 85%. On the longer time frame, Turbo is looking not so great. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, anything could happen, but I'd rather buy Pepe than Turbo at this point. You've been repeating the same content for a few videos. This video don't have to be 20 minutes, 5 minutes max, or say something new. Look, I get what you're coming from. On the other hand, I go with the market. I don't want to make shit up, right? In order to have content. Sometimes nothing much more is happening, but occasionally there are different views we can have on the market, right? And my videos are maybe more occasionally motivational than technical. I can put it like that. Which I just know for me, that was the most helpful thing if I was looking at a YouTuber. And I feel like, man, if I look at a YouTuber, I don't have to hear the 10 best altcoins or whatever, or stupid predictions that are not going to come through, right? I'd rather hear someone say, hey guys, been there. This was my mistake, right? I'm looking at that chart. If you back it up with that, then this is the conclusion. It's not a given, but it's the best bet, etc., etc. And I get that they can be too long. And I'll try to work on that though. Somebody, okay, so this video was the altcoin market is almost a guaranteed perfect buy at the moment. And somebody said, are you joking? Because me and everyone who is normal in the head first buy Nvidia and Tesla on discount. You can hold them until your retirement. These are still tech stocks, bro. Like you never, like you can hold. It's not the S&P. That I don't really agree with that. Is it safer than Fartcoin? Yeah, but is it given that you can hold certain tech stocks until your retirement? Yeah, for me that's a big fuck no, actually. Rather than AVAX or Alex Becker, shit, that's for Elio Trades, shit, Superverse. I don't know. It depends, like, but I am like that depends on your strategy, right? I'm not here sitting on YouTube saying that I'm buying super until my retirement or anything like that. I'm not planning on holding this for decades, right? I'm planning on trading it for this cycle. Yeah, and then you can take a look at super, and then we can call it shit. But if it's shit, then why did it do the 32x, right? Like that depends a little bit on how you deal with it, I guess. Maybe in a couple months in these conditions, they will go to zero, or you can buy them on bit of discount, like 99% down. Like, yeah, bro, maybe, but maybe not. And that's also the risk in this market right now. It is so easy for people to look at the market, ignore everything that happened, but in a downtrend, be like, it's bad, it's going down, you should not buy, you should sell, right? It's like, it's also not when we are at the top that the market is obviously screaming and writing on the wall for you that it's time to sell your tokens, right? Like, and that's the same right now. It's obviously like not saying like, hey, you should buy right now or you should sell right now. Like, but you go with emotion very easily in this market right now. So are there coins that are going to die? If that's your message, yeah, bro, it's crypto, of course. And it's kind of our job to identify where the market is combined with the broader market. What's the likely outcome? Right? Not the guaranteed outcome, but what's a likely outcome? And then check for yourself, like, is it worth it? Right? Is it worth it? And that's with certain coins, like, you have to check, like with CeDeFi, for example. You know, I'm not saying that 50 cents is the floor, right? We can go lower, but the lowest that it has been in 4 years is around that price, right? So that's another 13% down. But the highest that it has been from this point, you know, since that time as well, is 28x up, right? So again, is it a given that CeDeFi won't go much lower and that it will do a 28x? No, of course not. We are not retarded, right? We understand this. But is it very obvious that the risk reward is now so fucking beautiful? Yeah. And if you are scared, right? That's the only thing I can call it, because you don't know. You act like it's going down. Like, it can go down. Yeah, it can go down, but it can also go up. It's crypto, right? And therefore you have to check for yourself, like, hey, is that risk reward ratio worth it for me? If it's not worth it for you and you feel more comfortable holding stocks, fucking fine, I get that, right? Then again, this is a crypto channel, dude. So I'm not gonna talk about Nvidia and Tesla and I don't know what on this channel. That's not what we came for, right? Maybe when the whole market is stopping, I would say like, hey guys, maybe time to convert it to real estate, stocks, whatever, gold, metals, these kind of things. But not now at the lows, at least. That doesn't make sense for me. Back probably does watch your videos and borrow. Yeah, that was just a joke. I don't know. He doesn't know me. Life as a rich dude must be not. Look, no, I'm not rich, man. This is also my job, right? So if I have a certain amount of money in it, yeah, okay, but I also have to take out a lot more. Most people, they have a job and they can just put money in crypto, and that's their extra money basically. So yeah, right on the nail. Thanks, bro. I see. I think this is one person always commenting about VRA. These are the community members that you need to have in your circle, man. It's pretty cool. When it does come to VRA, though, let me take a real quick look, because VRA was looking like it was hanging on a cliff last time I checked, and it is, yeah, it's kind of still hanging there, so that's good. For us, you can say whatever you want, man, but the big resistance in 2019-20, before it went into a huge bull market, is now finally for the first time tested as support. That's typically not the worst time to buy, right? Like, so yeah, pretty great, man. So for everybody, like, if I say like I'm bullish, it's not that I'm saying like the market is a guaranteed to go up right now. It can go down, but assuming that the market does go up again like it always does, then this is a better place to buy them whenever, right? So sometimes I say these kind of things and I'm getting some shit for it, for being bullish. Bro, are you like? Of course, I'm rather bullish at low prices and at high prices. That's the basic, like, we should know that, right? Please try to apply that for yourself. This is a no-brainer. I can't believe the opportunity is sitting in front of our faces. Yeah. But that's the thing. A lot of people don't have money to take advantage of the opportunity. And I do think that therefore a lot of people kind of are mad at the market or whoever, right? You should be mad at yourself for not making sure that you have money for these situations. But apart from that, I do get it. I mean, if the market was sitting at this price and I would have nothing to take this opportunity, I would be bitter as fuck, right? Like, really. Yeah. So somebody said, but there's a problem. So my video about, the opportunity in the market, as somebody said, there's a problem. There will be no alt season. Basically, if you think that your shitty coins will go up, forget about it. No one will buy your altcoins, yada, 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 yada. So I asked but never got a response, of course. But there, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna waste much more time on that. I think that if you want to bet on the fact that it's not gonna happen this time because everything is low, that's mostly the reason that people have, right? It's not gonna go up because it is down. Because it's down, it has more room to go up, right? That's kind of how it works. But again, maybe some people have missed that video that I made about this. But if you look back in 2017, which this market looks quite a lot like 2017 so far, if you look during a bull market, right, to confirm, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin was in a freaking bull market right here. You can see it really well. Here we go. Bitcoin went from, what was it, $400 to like, well, 20K, whatever it was. Like, Bitcoin was in a huge bull market. During that uptrend, some altcoins, they got wrecked, like Steam, for example, right? It had a run, a huge run, right? Like we saw right now with a lot of altcoins having a huge run. Then it had a crash of 98%. 98. Dude, try to imagine something going down 98% now. People are already freaking out about 70. You know what that difference is? That turns your portfolio from whatever is left at this moment until absolutely nothing anymore, to pennies, right? There was nothing anymore. Yet it pumped 15,000%, right? So I do feel like, man, if people think it's over because some coins are down 70, 80%, just look back at this market. It can be so much worse and still have an insane alt season. So, yeah, there's that. So I kind of like this comment. Somebody said like, also, it's a pretty bearish outlook, but backing it up. And that's worth considering, right? when you look at charts like Injective, Render, and Sony, I don't know about that one, but the more look like it's done. There's no way to get back to the all-time high. Maybe a dead cat bounce before the bear market. So ask why, and he said, you can't deny that this cycle is identical chart from last cycle. Big spikes up, retraces, then more prolonged sideways. A lower high and then dumps all the way back. It's literally doing that. And if we go to Injective, I definitely get where he's coming from. And I think that maybe is also the reason for some people to feel like, oh, it's over. Let's put on Injective right here and let's take a look at that, right? Because again, you should always consider that what's the worst case scenario, right? We hit a huge rally right here. Peak, down hard, second rally, which turned into a lower high, bear market, right? Huge rally, down hard, second peak in the lower high, and now down, right? And from this second peak so far, it is down with 72%. And from this peak, yeah, we have to take it by the wick. I don't know. 72% was here, $4.5, right? So if we do what the last market did, then it can still go down another 70%, and that would be the ultimate bear market lows. So does that look freaking similar? Yeah, I can't deny that, right? Looks really similar. The only problem, it's not a problem. The only thing for me that makes it different is everything else, basically. The chart is the same, but the market conditions are so different, right? Last time, for example, if we overlay alt-season chart, last time that we had this going on was during a huge alt-season. Now we saw the exact same thing during a non-alt season. And that alt season, in my opinion, is still about to come. Will it be as big as this one? Probably not. Maybe. I mean, this one, like, I don't know. Probably, very probably not. But it doesn't need to be, right? But this was nothing. We only had dead cat bounces, right? And only with that, there were already coins like Injective doing insane. Now, Injective was also an exception, right? Went from $1 to $50, right? So am I saying that Injective can go to, well, $500 in the next? No, I don't think so, right? I think there were certain coins that had an exceptional run, which will still do well during a bear market, but the attention that has, shifted. But if I talk about the overall market, then I feel like, yeah, that's not looking like Injective to me, right? Like the Injective chart. If we look at the overall market, it's more, where we had a bear market, made our low, right? Bear market, made our low, had a run up and a second low quite close to it. So I had a run up and a second low quite close to it, actually. And then we have basically a run up, which has a high, low, a high, a high, a low, a high, and a high, a low. And that's on a bigger time frame, though. Kind of what we are seeing right here as well, right? Where it just goes up, down, put in a low, up, down, high, low. And that is all happening while it's not at all-time highs yet, right? Not at all-time highs yet. And also around, December 2020, beginning 2021, which is way more in line with where we are in the cycle right now as well. Because if you look at Injective, that first peak that happened in April, right? In April of 2021. This first peak happened in March 2024. So that's a year sooner, actually, right? So I don't know, man. I get where you're coming from, and with certain charts, it looks like that, but the overall market looks like it still needs to make that rally, right? And maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. But even if it doesn't, right? Even if it doesn't do exactly what it did over here, right? Which doesn't have to. Even if we make another higher high, right? That could already be pretty insane for certain altcoins. So yeah, Uh, uh, um, These guys never respond. You've been wrong about everything. Everything you said. Everything. You've been looking at the Bitcoin chart the whole time, but it was Ethereum. What the fuck was wrong? So I asked him what, but not got a response. But I don't exactly know how people come up with this. Seems like a bull trap for now. I don't know for sure. These are the best comments, right? Just somebody who says like, hey, it seems like this, but hey, I don't know for sure, right? Like that's indeed what we should all do. It looks like this, but we are not sure. Some people they comment or on YouTube, the creators or on Twitter, whatever, they say, this is gonna happen. Okay, thanks. If you're from the future, then let me know what the weather is gonna be in 2 weeks because I wanna put on my swim shorts. Watch, they go sideways forever and drive everybody nuts. Yeah, so far it's been a boring piece of market, right? Um, Once Bitcoin breaks the uptrend weekly swing low in the past halving year, it has always meant the first stop was in. Also, there has never been 3 months of correction in the post halving year unless the first stop was in. Could be, right? But that's a little too specific. We can also say like, hey, when we come to the next, the last cycle, hey, we never had a COVID crash before, so it's over, right? And after that, it also. So I don't think like that the cycles are like that copy paste to each other actually. Should do another rap for us. Yeah, been building a music studio right here, so we're gonna do a lot of music things actually. Thanks for the kind words. Appreciate that they're still there. The Moon Crypto and his butthole Da Vinci friend. This suck. Yeah, like these guys are something else, man. This is so weird, man. This is not even crypto. Like, what the hell is it? Goatish. Yeah. So I think this most of it. Appreciate Jake. Good YouTube. He has some great content, man. Yeah, I really appreciate people. Bro, yeah, again, bro's still bullish, but then laughing like, bro's still bullish. Like, how can you laugh about that, man? I don't get it. Like, been bullish here, been bullish here, been bullish here, right? Of course, it's a lower trend. Like, how are you going to be bearish right there, right? That doesn't make sense. Also on the Bitcoin pair as well. People bullish here all the time. Nobody was laughing at these YouTubers, right? They were following them, right? But when it's sitting at some good buying entries, and I say that it looks good, then people act like I'm the crazy one. Like, what? Come on, man. It's the other way around, please. You believe alts can pump if Bitcoin goes down the drain to 70K? It could. Like, it could happen, definitely. And that's what I said earlier in the video. Like, if Bitcoin goes to 60K, but altcoins on their Bitcoin pair go up really hard, then altcoins can still pump because it basically just means that people are taking money from Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin price goes down, but they put it in altcoins, right? So altcoins go up, Bitcoin goes down. That's alt season. So yeah, it's very possible, definitely. You're an idiot. So I found it funny because I can, on YouTube Studio on the phone, you can see somebody's last 3 comments, and this guy at the top in December said, Jasper, you can do 50x or so. And then it crashed. So I thought, like, yeah, you can know that as well, of course. But come on, then why are you calling me an idiot? You're starting. Like, I'm a fucking child, right? Like, I'm gonna go right with you if you come at me like that. You have mentioned that you will share what coins you are buying and what you didn't. But you didn't. Could you? Yeah. So it was pretty quick, actually. But the coins that I am actually in the process of buying are kind of this, man. So at this point in this market, I said, like, I have 2 areas where I will buy this lower trend line and this. Right now, lower trend line took months, got hit, great, bought my coins, right? And they are up a little bit, but not spectacular. Second one is here. That's more if we get a COVID kind of crash for this cycle. The things that I'm buying are the defensive ones so far, right? Because it's not, the market is not like, whoa, right? So I'm not going to buy the risky shit. So what I am buying is, I'm not going to name them all though, but it's most safer things in this list. And some risky ones, but AIOZ, AVAX, like these entries right here, I've been buying a couple days ago, right? Like these fucking hell, man, these entries, beautiful. Like really, 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 really beautiful. Can it go lower? Yeah, I don't care. Beam, I think that yeah, if you ever want to buy it, then DCA and pray, right? Chain GPT, been buying that. Been buying little desync, I think. Yeah, a little bit. Ethereum, obviously. Traded Joe. Not Link yet, but I do want to buy that. Near, about a little Prime. Prime is a coin that not in a loss because I took high profits, but my latest buy was at $11. I don't know why. What the hell I did? I think I saw some support right there, and then I bought more at 320, something like that. Render, Seedify, and I bought a little Sidus. Not really convinced though, but I bought some Sidus because I had a pretty high entry, and for the same amount that I still have, I could lower my entry by 2x. So that was pretty amazing. And it bounced so far pretty perfectly, but hey, it's just one little green candle. Let's see how it goes. Little SPX, the only meme coin that I bought, but just to have some exposure. Super and wild. That's kind of what I've been buying lately. Bear market, it's different. Take your money, break even, and run. Yeah. I don't know what these kind of comments are based on. Like, I don't know, man. Look, bear market, for some alts, they look like they're in the bear market. The overall market, yeah, not really. Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, yeah, but they're still. It's like not, oh, we just entered the bear market. It's more like we have been in a fucking bear market for like 3 years, and now people finally start to kind of realize it. Like that's more the thing, right? But then again, it is different. That's I. Therefore, I'm so bullish because I can argue fucking for hours like that it's not different and that it's the same. And yeah, if I'm right, then we're sitting on the God of Gold, God of Gold, pot of gold. You should Sanic Pal. Yeah, this guy is always a little bitter. Also, I don't want to spend more time on that. Actually, yeah. It's kind of it for today, guys. I don't know what the topic and the etc. of this video should be, but overall, I do think that there's just mixed sentiment right now. There's a camp of people that are really bullish right now. I think the difference in people at this moment is people with stables and people with no stables. That's it. The people with stables are bullish. They can take advantage of the opportunity. The people with no stables, yeah, like I said, if I would have nothing to buy, I would be fucking bitter as hell, man. So the people with no stables, they are bitter, right? And it's understandable. I think that these are the two people, not the bullish or the bearish or the optimistic or the negative or whatever. People with money and the people with no money, right? And I think that therefore, once the market goes up, it will be a hated rally like crazy, 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 with a lot of FOMO. And therefore, one green candle will trigger the other. And yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. My coffee is working way too well, and I'm taking off, going home, doing something else. I don't know. None of your business. See you in the next one, man.